Guys, right here we have the Losi, the Spec Bee, and the Microbe. Okay, this is the Maverick by HPI. Obviously the Losi Micro Bee here, and the Hobby Plus Spec Bee. This is Gene. You want to introduce yourself to the world?
My name is Gene Shrout Jr. I'm an avid 8-scale and 10-scale racer. Met up with Joe with crawling, and now we're testing these little guys out to let you guys know which one is king, I guess.
Right. So, I mean, these two are very similar, but as I showed on camera, they do have a little bit different chassis design. So, other than that, they seem to be almost identical. The Losi is obviously the first one of the bunch to come out, and it is very different in every way: transmission, tires, motor, ESC, and all the controls. Yes. I mean, heck, even the wing is bigger. Look at the difference in the wing.
Yeah, and the Losi, they did a good job with mimicking it off their 5.0 platform in the 10-scale world. It's literally just a shrunk down 5.0 buggy. So nice. They did good there.
So, I mean, just looking at them like this, obviously 3 different bodies. Very different in there. To me, the Microbe is more aggressive. The Losi looks a little more classic. And the Spec Bee is just more like a forward cab.
Yeah, the Spec Bee is definitely more forward cab. But we're seeing a lot of these bodies come out in the carpet world in 10 scale. Now, I think this one's going to be more neutral, and it's going to be easier to drive, especially with that wider chassis. I think it's going to help numb it a little bit. Even though it's in a different spot, it's still adding some rigidness to this one. Then this one, in my opinion, will probably be a little twitchy. Because I don't, as he showed earlier, how much wider this one is than the HPI. But everything else is identical. From shock towers to shocks, tires, wheels, transmission, motor, ESC, everything's identical other than that chassis and how the servo bolts in. And then this guy is tried and true Losi. I mean, you take their 5.0 platform and you put it up against this, and this is their race buggy. Well, they have the X out now, but this is their race buggy that did win the Worlds by Tater Sontag and at Hobby Action. So we know it's tried and true, just scaled down.
All right, so I guess the first thing we're going to go do is take it out, go hit the big concrete oval, just to kind of get a speed run and a feel for the vehicles. The tires are the biggest difference I can see between them. It might make a difference because you got ribs up here, and these are all like a pin design everywhere else.
Yeah, what kind of catches me a little off guard is the back somewhat resembles a carpet tire, but not really. But the front really resembles a carpet tire, like the JC Pin Swag. It really looks like that, and the back is kind of, in my opinion, like the old BK bar that Losi had when Losi actually produced tires. It kind of resembles that a lot, but it's weird to see like a carpet front with more of a somewhat packed clay tire in the rear when the Losi comes with, what is that? It's a blockade? Yeah. So just a smaller version of their blockade, which is an outdoor tire for loose loam along with the rib. This is definitely seems a little more thought out. They kind of just went with whatever tires looked good, because in my opinion it is a carpet tire up front and a dirt tire in the rear.
Okay. So we're going to go hit some concrete then, which is not dirt or anything.
Nope.
And then we're going to come in and mess around on the Mini Z track, and that surface that's your track there.
Yeah.
The surface is standard issue Mini Z.
Yeah, it's the foam RCP track. It has a lot of grip for mini Z's, so we'll see what happens with these guys.
All right, buddy, let's go. All right, I got the microbe and you got the Losi, right, Gene?
Yes, sir.
All right, ready, set, go. See if we can somehow pull the same lap here. Oh, we on the wheel. Dude, they look really close in speed.
Identical.
All right, I got the Losi now. Ready, go.
Yep. Whoa, this one has a lot more turning.
Yes, it does. Wow, dude, I'm drifting way out now. I got to hold full turn to make the corners with the Losi.
Yeah.
That one you can't. Dude, they are right there, man. All right, I'm gonna grab the Hobby Plus.
Yeah, Hobby Plus.
All right. Oh, I got the turning you do now. All right. Oh, dude, I just crashed into the Losi parked over here to the side. Like a 4-inch spot and I had to hit it. I'm waiting for you to come around. See right here. Ready? Go.
Ah, too much turn. I can catch up. I can catch up.
If I keep swinging wide, is it HP? Oh! Oh! Okay, I would have to say they're all pretty much equal on speed,
Yeah,
man.
I think
They
got like 1 mile an hour, half a mile an hour on the Losi, and that's it. Because I can definitely tell the difference.
Now yours is actually catching me now. Here's the it's got a wheelie. Give it 3 good laps with it, and we'll. And then switch to it. That one has a punch, dude. You see that?
Yeah, a lot more.
I wonder if
I think this one makes it a little more stable.
all
right.
You got to really turn in with that one. Be interesting to see these. It sounds better, doesn't it? All right, I think we're good to go. Now we're inside. Get a few laps in here on this track right here. Whole different service, obviously. This is what we use for the Mini Z track, right?
Yep.
Mini Z cars. Now, same thing with out there on the pad. The Losi really like to push.
Yeah.
That's where the ones with the microbe and the why do I keep saying hot bodies?
Well,
Hobby Plus. The pins were really doing good on the pavement, on the concrete out there. Okay, microbe is up. Definitely a difference in sound though, that's for sure. Wow.
That drag brake.
So he just adjusted the throttle trim a tiny little bit to where it kind of has a little bit of a roll to it to try to take out some of the drag that we're experiencing with the transmission or motor bushings or something like that. Wow, that back end is super loose.
Yeah, the Losi definitely handles better in the turns, but this thing does land better.
I'm noticing that too. All right, now Spec B by Hobby Plus. Now this one we noticed out there on the oval, it seems to have a lot more punch to it. As in it just like took off like a little dragster. A bit more than the other two did.
Yeah.
They're all landing about the same place. Now that was a perfect landing, dude. You came right down. Okay, so we jumped these things. We raced them. We went through all of that. The overall speed was really comparable. I mean,
Yeah.
it was almost like the line was the biggest difference on the speed.
Yeah, the line was definitely where you would notice the speed at the overall end of the straightaway. People don't think that your exit coming out of, say, turn 1 to turn 2 or turn 3 would be have anything to do with the top speed, but it does. So yeah, if you hold that turn, it was really just, it came down to who had the better line in that turn.
Yeah, and the Microbe and the Spec B, they seem to have a lot more turn in, as where the Losi like to push to the outside. So you had to kind of turn a little bit earlier with the Losi, as where these you could kind of get up close and just cut the corner. But that's probably all in the tires.
Yeah, I think that's all in the rib versus the pin style front tire. There's more roll in those pins to grab. The ribs were really designed to numb down the front end to help the twitchiness of the car on those loose, loamy outdoor tracks. So I understand why it was pushing there. These two cars, when we ran them side by side, they almost identical in speed, but the Spec B had more punch. It had more punch out of the hole, and I don't know if that's just something that they tuned a little bit different. I mean, the ESCs look the same, but this one's labeled Fly Sky, and this one's labeled MSRS. So it's probably just a different sticker. But
the transmitters are the same.
Yeah. But this one, obviously, we both could tell had more punch out of the hole.
It really did.
Now, if we'd have to weigh these, but I think this one's slightly heavier, so I wonder if that had an issue with it feeling like it had more punch because it actually gripped up and went with that slight more weight with that bigger chassis in the front. And then, yeah, this guy, the Losi was just as quick, but it did push. So you had to think about your entry speed to that turn, or you would definitely push out of the wall after the apex.
Now, inside on the Mini Z track, you did all the driving. What are your thoughts on that?
So out of the box, these tires on the Mini Z track do not work. They just don't. I tried different ride height adjustments to take away steering and give it more grip, and none of it worked. These tires are good on the concrete, not on the Mini Z track. Now, we did take the tires off the Losi and put on both these vehicles, and world of difference. Proline definitely has the compound over these generic tires. I mean, they feel good. They're not like a hard plasticky rubber. They have a nice rubber feel. So I had a lot of expectation out of them, but they did not provide it.
They spun so quick.
Yeah, they spun really fast.
Just zipped around.
And then the blockades with the ribs that Proline has for the Micro B were definitely it. So this one, and it's weird, felt numb going around the track. I had to use more brake and try to get it to rotate out of the Maverick. It just turned and went and was a lot easier to drive than the Spec B. And the only thing different is the chassis.
Yeah,
that is the only difference is that chassis. So this one was more numb. This one handled more like the Losi. But the one thing that these two cars did extremely well over the Losi was jump and land. They were a lot more composed whenever you would land the jump. Obviously, if they nosedived a little bit on that foam, they would dig in, and they would have the same characteristics when that would happen. But the overall jump and landing, when you got it right, was so much better than on these two vehicles. The Losi, no matter what you did, it would bounce. These cars would land and just stick and go. But with that said, the Losi, out of the box, for someone getting into this is the car to get. I really think so. For ease of drive, you don't have to buy tires for it. The aftermarket support is really good. They have so much stuff. You can tune the suspension to get that bounce out of it. But that is the only thing you're going to deal with out of the box is that bounce. Grip, speed, handling, it's all there. It's just that bounce. The only thing that these two guys have over the Losi is that landing. But here on the table, you can feel that the Losi is just so much softer in the suspension. So just little fluid change, that little drip that you might get. I mean, it may be a spring change, but
all right. Yeah, that was very thorough.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, he drove quite a bit more than what you saw on camera.
Yeah, we drove a lot because we were
he
swapping
tried,
tires all around.
You name it, he tried it.
Yeah,
so,
and like I said, for whatever reason, the Spec B is the most numb out of all of them. So,
but it has the most punch.
Yes.
For some odd reason.
It does have the most punch, but it's a lot more numb in the turns than these two. So if we put them, this is the winner. This comes in a very, very, and I mean very close second. And then the Spec B.
There you go.
Because the punch isn't going to win races. If you're drag racing, yes. The handling around the turns is what's going to win a race, and then the jumps. Because if it comes down to it, most of the time, well, not with the Pro Line jumps. Well, you could roll the jumps if you needed. But the Maverick out of the box is definitely going to be, if you put these tires on it, is definitely going to be the most neutral car working from jumps to turning and all that. But you have to buy tires. With the Losi, you don't. You just take it out and run it. And it's good on the track with the jumps. It does have a little bounce, but just throttle control, when depending on when you hit the gas when you land, will have a lot to do with that bounce also. But this is 1, 2, 3 for all the micros that are out right now, in my opinion. And I had this was my winner looking at them on table, to be 100% honest. And when me and Joe talked about doing this video, I told him right out of the gate last week that this was going to be my pick. Because I thought it was going to be really stable everywhere because of the chassis. But it was just too numb. I know you can tune that out of it, but out of the box, it was too numb on the tight track. Like I had to use the brake a lot to get it to rotate. With these two vehicles, you do not. You can basically just flow around the track really nice. And that is so, I'm still baffled a little bit with how close they're carbon copies other than the chassis.
The only difference is the chassis. Everything else looks to be identical. I mean, maybe there's a different program in the receivers, the receiver ESC, but dude, they look like the exact same receiver with just a different sticker, but
yeah,
the firmware could be maybe different or something, which might explain the punch that we had here versus the drivability we had there. I mean, I don't know. But
yeah, it's going to come down to driver preference, but for my honest opinion, 1, 2, 3, And then I don't know the price point differences of these two.
I want to say it's about maybe $20, or it might be a little bit more than that. I think the Losi is obviously the most expensive one.
Yeah.
But when you're looking at, if you're a serious racer, $40-50, you'll throw that out to get that win in a heartbeat.
Oh, hands down.
So I mean,
we go through that in tires a weekend,
yeah.
just throwing stuff out the wall, trying to, if like in the racing world, we'll get the setup close and then try to figure out the tire, and 75 to 85% of all setup is in the tires. Because you can have the best setup car in the world and have crappy tires and not do good. You can have no shock fluid and have good tires and do better than the good setup. And that's proven every day at these big races that I go to.
All right. Well, buddy,
Yeah.
Gene, thank you very much for your professional opinion.
Thank you for letting me drive them.
Way more in depth and knowledge than I'll ever have, especially when it comes to racing stuff and all that. I mean, he is the man around here. So
I'm just seasoned. I can feel different things in the cars than the average Joe, and I just think that's because of how much time I have in the racing scene and trying to figure out setup and all that. But yeah, they were fun.
All right, Ed. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And guys, check the description. I'll link up all three of these down below. Use those links, hit that subscribe, and you all have a great day. If you're still watching, you are top shelf. You are the cream of the crop, the pick of the litter. You are phenomenal. Thank you for watching to the end of the video. It means a lot to me. Now, down below, there are links for the products you see, also for channel memberships. If you guys want to be a part, channel members get early viewing on pretty much everything that I can. So, guys, check that description. There's a lot of info down there. Thank you all for watching.